All right.
Subscribe to youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters. Welcome. You're now tuned into The Boxing Voice. ThaBoxingVoice.com.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Patreon production. I'm so happy to be talking about this fight. Fucking Adrien Broner and Mikey Garcia. Matt, should I give you proper introductions? Should we keep it themed, or I mean, because I'll be honest. Anytime something is Patreon, I feel automatically freer.
Yeah, we start smoking weed and shit.
I start smoking weed, and I just feel like I don't have anything holding back. You know,
yeah, it's our listeners. It's the people that ride with us.
It's the people that love us, and it feels so.
You know what? There's people that are Patreon members that like I've had beef with. Like Hands of Stone is one of them, but like I still respect him. I still love him. He's a Patreon supporter, so I always love him. So that's just what it is. That's what we do here. We're all family. We may bicker, we may argue, but we're family.
For sure, for sure. So all right, Adrien Broner versus Mikey Garcia. This thing is actually official. Let me go ahead and give you the link, Matt, so that you can help with sharing it to our lovely patrons. And remember, guys, you can call in. I want you to call in on Skype. And this is also going to force people to get used to using Skype, which ultimately should be our future in the next coming years, just for audio quality.
It's better.
Yeah, audio quality. It's much more important.
All those trap phones are.
I know. A lot of my guys got bad traps. You know what I mean? Got the bad trap phones, and that's not what we want. Hammer Time, what's up, baby? Here goes the link for you. I'm sending it to you directly. I hope you get it. And again, when it's Patreon, it's a little less stress, right? But I'm gonna pull up the Adrien Broner article on boxingscene.com. I think that's the one that we need to use because it was interesting. Did you read it, Matt? Tell me you read it. It's called.
Who wrote it? Who wrote the article?
I'll tell you in a sec here. It is called "Could This Be Adrien Broner Last Stand" by Andris Hale.
Oh, great author. One of the best in the business.
Really? I've never heard of this guy.
He's more in the, I'll put it this way, he's an all media guy. So he does MMA, he does hip hop. He's on the Two Dope Boys podcast and website. Definitely check him out. Mad respect for him and nothing. He's a friend of the show for me, at least.
Awesome sauce. Hey man, I don't know. I don't really know.
He's not a regular boxing guy. I'll put it that way. He's not a boxing media guy.
I'm gonna have to take this call pretty soon here. Yeah, all my patrons just see me coughing there. Hey, Smart Water, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, Ness?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you? I don't really love this Patreon move. I gotta say.
Well, you're about a show late, but I want to take your feedback. Why not?
So, I mean, I've always been a Patreon supporter. I've donated a lot over the years. And I'm not going to stop, but I'll tell you why I don't like it is the content that you do, these great spontaneous shows, that's what brings in new viewers. If you're not putting out that show on YouTube, how are you going to get new viewers? How are you going to grow? It's going to be hard.
Well, we are. We still have the Thursday and Sunday show, and we have immediate reactions to all fights.
Yeah. Sure, that's some content, but the spontaneous show, like sometimes there's like a hot new topic, and then you're only going to give that out to a much smaller audience.
You're absolutely right.
But that's just the way it has to be.
No, yeah, no, but he needs to understand why. Listen, you want to give me a first name too? Because Smartwater sounds so ridiculous to be mentioned.
But it's a good name.
Oh shit, it's Luke from Jersey. Fucking ringer status. Look at that. Luke, you should change that. So we know that it's you. So here's the thing, Luke. The goal was set at a certain place, and obviously, like I said, because of the enthusiasm I seen from the people, I just projected that by the end of the year we'd be there, everything be a-okay. And I started to produce that morning show, sometimes even 3 times a day. But that, love was not kind of reciprocated back to us. And it takes money to do this shit. Like, I mean, just the last appreciation night was about $10,000 to do. Just that, food, catering.
YouTube money isn't what people think it is. Let's be completely honest. YouTube money isn't there anymore.
No, listen, it's.
Do you lose monies on those shows, or are they they break even? I mean, I don't really know if you want to put that out there.
How about thank God for sponsors. Okay. And axe around, and I mean sponsors of the specific show. I wish they would be year-round sponsors. I wish the WBC would sponsor me year-round, or Everlast, or whoever. No, those are individual event sponsors. But axe around, axe the amount of people that I let in for free too that can't afford it. But I you've still gotten me to this part. But in order to get to that next phase, this has to happen. I mean, look, we were at a number and we're $500 less than that. That means we lost. But that was
your goal for the end of the year, or what was that your goal for?
Well, the 6,000 was the goal for the end of the year. I thought I would get there by the end of the year. Yes.
And we were at that trajectory.
Yeah, we were at some point we were, but we went quickly from like 2,000. We flirted with like 2,100, and then now we're at 1,500, and that's obviously because the content
isn't there.
It's free.
Why pay for YouTube? Why
now, everyone doesn't have the same conscience that you have. See, you realize, all right, I do love the spontaneous shows.
You're a ringer, so like you're
getting your benefit anyway. You're a ringer, right? Not everyone can do what you do, though. But it's different. I understand for you, it's probably not gonna work. I mean, it will still work for you. I mean, you're looking at the growth, and that's really my thing, right? That's why it was free, because I wanted to grow. I'd rather have new listeners and new callers and new characters, but at the same time, fuck, man, I got 4 kids. This is what I'm doing for a living. This is what Matt's doing for a living. So if this doesn't work, I'm gonna have to pack it up and resort to, I won't even do 2 days a week, to be honest, because still, it would be failure.
Patreon to grow, if you want to get any new subscribers, you're gonna have to keep plugging it then on the Thursday and Sunday show.
But I think,
if you want to hear this spontaneous,
we're gonna plug it a lot on. And so everyone that's on Patreon,
hey, you guys barely plugged this show on the last show. Like,
listen,
Matt said it once, or Ness said it once. Like, you guys should have been plugging this show the whole time.
But you're absolutely right, and that's the reason of the last show. That was the purpose of it.
You didn't plug it.
No, because again, that show wasn't specifically to advertise the Broner show. That show was to tell people that we are going to focus our attention moving on out on Patreon and Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're just going to tighten up.
Which we addressed, I feel like, clearly.
Right. Wait. You're right. Like, during the week, we would do maybe 12 shows, and we wouldn't say anything much more than support us on Patreon. But we also weren't providing quality content on Patreon either. Now, those spontaneous shows, they will be there. And callers like yourself, you'll probably call in on Thursday because you're a ringer. You don't got to wait in line. And you'll probably mention something that was mentioned on this show, on that show. And curiosity really killed the cat. That is the right strategy to take. But again, I was so excited with the overwhelming response. I'm like, oh, don't worry. We're going to get there. Let's just do what we need to do, because I love the fucking talk. Dude, I was in Jamaica looking at the notifications whenever I got to the Wi-Fi area, dying to talk topics. dying to talk about fucking John David Jackson and being some sort of fucking mole or getting, I mean, so much. Andre Ward's new attitude about the sport and this fight. Adrien Broner being dude, this is what I love to do. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if Patreon isn't successful, then I can't do this. And fuck, I won't do it as a hobby because it's going to be a constant reminder of failure. Like, I'm in a sparring match taking it serious. Like, it's like I'm Adrien Broner fighting Mikey Garcia. I'm just that competitive. I can't do anything half-assed. So if I fail at this, I'm not coming back. Dude, and keeping it real, look at the people that were either on this show or are competitors of this show. They copy every single thing that I do. So if I fail, fuck, they're only going to laugh at me.
And what about the callers? The callers won't know about the show, so how are they going to call in?
Word of mouth, man. We will. Today's
like
day
callers,
one.
Like Blackface, the great callers, like George Porgy, like
all the YouTube.
Yeah, but they won't know when the show is.
What do you mean
They'll learn?
Unless they like are subscribed, I guess. But so you're really gonna limit your call base on these shows too.
Oh,
yes.
But that's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Okay.
We're gonna have to. It's a necessary evil unless you can paint another way.
I don't know. It's just, if you're gonna do this, I just hope you guys actually plug these shows during the week, because that's the only way you're possibly gonna hit your goal.
No, you're 100% right. That selfless plugs on the free shows to promote Patreon is what we're gonna have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed off air having one weekly, and I said Friday. I wanted to do every Friday, like a Patreon only show. You know, discussing the perks, discussing different things. Again, like, look, we were talking about it, and Idris called up and he said he fell in love with that Anthony Joshua live reaction show. It's something that only a $7 Patreon can, $7 and above can, be part of. And his live testimony, it will convert people. Some people signed up during the duration of that call. So the show was positive. It just needs to be repetition. And I wasn't doing that because I was too focused on trying to do 3 shows a day for you guys, right? But not focusing on guys like you that are giving me the means to get to Keith Thurman or Deontay Wilder, Like, I couldn't go to Diaz. Diaz invited me. He's fucking Dominican. Joel Diaz invited me. Felix Diaz invited. I couldn't afford to fly myself, fucking casual, Matt, to Palm, and and I tried, all right? Palm Springs, they want like $500 to fly to fucking Palm Springs. Isn't that the desert? I don't even get it.
Palm Springs is like a vacation spot.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't go to LA much or Cali, so I wouldn't know. And those flights were just too much. It wouldn't justify them. Like, you tell me, Felix Diaz hitting the bag. That shit, it just doesn't do it. So, it's difficult.
For getting the YouTube money, per se, from views. It just doesn't do it.
YouTube is trash, bro.
And they have changed. I mean, if people don't know, like, YouTube advertising rates have changed.
Is one thing for me. It is a platform. Other than that, it's not the check, man. You kidding me? You'll die.
All right, so then if I could just talk about Broner versus Garcia real quick.
Let's do it.
So, Ness, you know you're a Mikey hater, right? Like,
yeah. Let me
know you are.
Yeah, but could you explain that? Because someone else said that in the chat.
I'll explain it right here. It was me. I'll explain it. You were saying about how, like, Mikey got killed by Salido, like he was looking bad. He was up 10 rounds. He knocked Salido down like 4 or 5 times. And you were saying about, oh no, the tides were turning. All right. Mikey bowed out.
All right, pause. Let me rebuttal just a little bit. And I don't mean pause the way that fucking Matt said. See, this is why Patreon is beautiful. Now, you being such a fucking high level, you can recommend that we do in all angles on Mikey Garcia versus Orlando Salido, which I think that we should, since this fight is big as hell. We definitely should do a film study on this one, and you will see that he fucking looked for a way out in those last rounds when he broke his nose. And if you don't see that, you're bullshitting. You're bullshitting.
That was an illegal move. You can't.
He could have fought. He could have fought with a broken nose, motherfucker.
Ness. Didn't Broner try to get out of the Maidana fight due to a headbutt?
Hell no, Broner ain't trying to get out. No,
what are you talking about? He fell to the floor like a fucking soccer player. What are you talking about?
And he ain't say he couldn't continue like Darrell, motherfucker. You know who said he couldn't continue?
Come on.
Yeah, you know why the doctor said it? Because he fucking went over there acting like he broke his nose. Frank, hold on one moment. Frank Cologne or Cole, I don't know.
I think that's NO.
Yeah, but he's got to tell him he's got okay, he sent the request. All right, boom. Go ahead, Luke. Luke, you're kidding me. Don't worry about it. We'll do it.
Mikey got knocked down as though that was a bad thing. Like
hell yeah, Roman Martinez
of a flash knockdown.
Yo, like, Roman.
If you look up flash knockdown in the dictionary, that will be it.
No way. That is not just it. And you know why I can't add anyone, Luke? Because you have not added me as a friend here, so you're ruining these calls.
Oh my God, Luke.
I've called so many times.
No.
How am I supposed to add? I don't know. You're in my list.
It's like a friend request on Skype.
You got to do a friend request. I can't add anyone.
I'm there, but okay, I'll try that again.
Yeah, resend it or something, I guess.
All right. So
Sal Young Mike is trying to add you as well, Ness. Just letting him.
No, I got Sal. I can't add him to this call, Luke. Can you resend that request for me, please? Because I can't do what I need to do with you.
Very quickly. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype if you want to call in.
Yes, sir. Luke, try one more time after I add these other people. Let me go to who else we got. See, look, it says a question mark, Luke. Whenever you got a question mark by your name, it says pending contact request. You need to accept the request, Lukester. All right, we got Frank on. Frank, talk to us. Broner Garcia. Right? Is it Frank? Who we got here? Oh, we got Sal. My bad, Sal. Talk to me.
Yo, what's good with you guys, man?
Chilling. You there or what?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now. What's going on with you guys, man? How was your trip, man? I want to start it off like that.
Yeah, baby. Well, look, we actually going to be talking about that on overtime. So, and I'm going to be putting out some footage for Patreon. You know, I took I went, my girl made me go fucking hiking, which I hate, but the cherry at the end of all that was this fucking amazing. I hate hiking. It was this amazing mountaintop weed farm.
What?
Yes.
Weed farm?
Yes, bro.
Dang.
Yes. Amazing, though. And it had like, oh man, it had just all the, and he would be like, yo, man, just rub it with your finger. So, you would fucking finger the cola and you just smell wonderfulness, bro. Oh, I will say this though. I already told Matt. I said like I'm good for Jamaica. Like I went last year and this year. Like I'm good now for about 5 years, maybe. Like
I hear that a lot.
I'm around. Shout out to Dre really quick. I want to give a shout out to Andre Diakonu, one of our
legend, the myth,
one of our biggest supporters and shit. He recommended my man John out in Jamaica. Amazing, bro. It had like, yo, Matt got another new sound bites, but shout out to Andre. Fucking Dre recommended the best tour guide in Jamaica, and he took me to the real Jamaica. So like this time, I really got to take it in. I ate like in the hood and in the right spots. Nothing commercialized, and I'm really good. Unless somehow TBV does a fucking reunion over there, or something like that, or it's like a guy's trip because. High and low, the whole country is about 5 hours in a car, and I couldn't find some bomb-ass weed. So it's like, yo, I can't be smoking mediocre for 6 days. That shit, I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah. Well, that's dope that everything went good. How's the crime rate out there? Because I heard that shit's crazy out there in Jamaica.
I didn't experience any, and I was out there. Like I said, he would take me. I mean, the fucking I posted a picture of the oxtail spot. It doesn't do it any justice. It was very small.
Oxtail, love it.
Oh,
that's so good.
It was awesome too. But the jerk pork is the shit to die for. You got to go to it's called the Best in the West. It's in the grill. I was in Montego Bay, but we drove out there because that's where the best beaches are anyway. And the Best in the West has the most amazing jerk pork ever. it's like a dry rub at that, you know? So it's almost like being in fucking whatever best Southern barbecue spot you can think of, but then with that Jamaican, that little fucking curry / jerk punch, man. It was good. It was good. The weather was good too. We only experienced rain once, and it was like
clubs.
It was a no clubs. God no. We did go to the resort club. We did go to the resort club. Yeah, this is turning into a TBV overtime quickly, Sal. We're gonna save this for later because I got a story. My girl thought she was 18 again. It was hilarious.
All right, hold on, real quick on this. Just this last question, then about Jamaica. Hey, did you see about Marty's crib or not?
I didn't, man, because those are like when you walk into Jamaica or to your resort. Those are like the tourist things to do. And since I got kind of hooked up with this dude that, you know, his I mean, think about it, bro. His fucking thing is called the name of his company, Matt, is called High Life Tours. I was in the right place. You know what I'm saying? He had everything. If I wanted edibles, he had them, but that was all the way in Ultra Reels. We didn't get to go there, but you know, it was just perfect. He took me to this. Listen, we'll get that on overtime, man, because they deserve it there. Even though this is Patreon, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place here, trying to please everyone. But let me get back to talking a little of this Adrien Broner and pull up that article that we were discussing about could this be Adrien Broner's last stand? And you know, Matt got all excited about the author, which makes it even better for me because it was interesting. But what was more interesting about the writing was the quotes that Broner says. Those infamous "we've been here before" quotes, kind of, Matt. Like, you know, this being, he said, this next half of my career, I'm focused on doing things the correct way. But that sounds like what he said before the Theophane fight or before the fucking Granados fight. It's such an interesting matchup, man, because look, you got guys saying that Mikey is all that and all this, but was Roman a flash knockdown? Yo, Broner's a legitimate puncher. Like, legitimate.
Especially at 140 and 135.
I don't know about what weights, because at 47, he put down Broner, and Maidana said he felt like he broke his fucking jaw. There's interviews on it, so just Google Broner Maidana interview or some shit and find it. Like, yo, and that was in the 12th round. He buckled him. You know, he holds power late. In the Garcia style matchup, yo, Garcia's not Sean Porter, Matt. He's not Orlando Salido. Orlando Salido was like, all on you. That's why headbutts happen and broken noses and things of that nature always happen in a Salido fight. You know, those are the styles, but he handled Salido well. But Mikey's known to be like a calm fighter. You know, he takes his time, kind of like Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah, Vladimir Klitschko is a good comparison. He's just a very methodical, fundamental boxer. You know, Mike Garcia is not the typical Mexican fighter in any way. He works behind his jab consistently. He works behind 1-2s. He likes to counter a lot. Similar to Broner, I would say. Both these guys, while not the same stance, same exact style, what they really do in the ring is almost similar. Both guys throw the jab a lot. Both guys throw single shots, not huge in combinations. And both guys counter. They're predominantly counter boxers. This fight actually may be a little bit boring at first, in my estimation. I think until somebody really starts connecting cleanly and starts getting the ball rolling, both these guys are going to be looking at each other a lot. And like you said, Mike Garcia isn't that brawler. He isn't that style. He's never going to rush Broner and make it uncomfortable. So Broner is going to have the time, the pace to really set up his shots. And that's going to be interesting because he is definitely the hardest hitter maybe that Garcia's ever faced. And I would also say that Garcia has never faced a boxer like Broner. Ever. You can make arguments that Broner's faced guys like Mikey Garcia, but Mikey Garcia, without a doubt, has never faced this type of guy.
He's never faced a slick back fighter. Never.
No, never.
Now, the problem always for Broner has been, yes, he's a slick black fighter, but he doesn't have the output. But again, with Mikey style matchup, where Mikey himself doesn't throw this abnormal amount of punches, and Mikey himself being a guy moving up in weight. I want to ask you, those 2 years, 18 months, whatever Mikey was out, how much of that, because you know that there's a quote out there that says he's coming back to 135. He's only taking this to get popular, Mikey is. He's coming back to 35. So my thing is, like, has he been out enough to gain that weight? Did he gain that weight properly? You know, moving up, and I mean, I don't even know, where's he at mentally that he's already thinking about moving back down.
I'm not concerned about the weight, and I think moving up for a big fight against Adrien Broner makes a lot of sense. I don't think.
No. I don't want you to be concerned about the weight. I'm wondering, is he a true 140-pounder? I mean, the last time we seen him, he was fighting Roman Martinez at 126. Then
That's not the last time we saw him.
Then he disappears for a while.
Fights at 140.
Pops up at like 135, right?
No,
or
140. He fought at 140.
Okay, versus a gimme Rogelio. It was Rogelio.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
you know, something like that. It was a gimme, and then, you know, Zlatan Cannon, another guy that we don't really know. We don't really know how durable he is, and we see boxing. Yeah, how durable is he?
I mean, he manhandled Ricky Burns. That's Julius Ndongo's biggest win. Oh, wait.
Opening doors with question marks.
Hold on, Ness. We want to see Julius Ndongo fight Terrence Crawford so fucking bad. I'm not saying me or you. I'm saying the fans. And Julius Ndongo's biggest win is
because of his consistency.
Hold on, is Ricky Burns. Dejan Zlatinshin biggest win was Ricky Burns, and you can argue that Dejan Zlatinshin did it in a way more impressive fashion.
Matt, you
could
also
way more dangerous in that fight than Julius Ndongo did in the fight with Ricky Burns. Let's just be honest about the situation.
And you could also argue that fight fans want to see Ndongo because he built momentum. It's something that's very important in boxing.
And Dejan Zlatinshin
Joshua has momentum. Deontay does not. Okay?
Good comparison, yeah.
Momentum. It's not about Zlatan Cannon being better or not better or
not better. I'm saying they're at the same point. Zlatinshin going into the Mikey fight was at the same point that Julius Ndongo is going into his Terrence Crawford fight, and yet they are viewed vastly different.
I'm still of the belief, though, that Adrien Broner can continue a successful career. I think even after this loss, he'll still get maybe 3-4 more fights.
Whoa, loss. So you're saying Mikey wins still?
I think that this is an interesting fight, but
early hard fight to pick. It's a hard fight to pick. Early pick, no, obviously.
It's not a hard fight to pick.
Yeah, it is. It's a very hard fight to pick. What are you talking about? Oh, it's so easy. Then it's not really a pick. It's your prediction. Go right now. You don't wait till July. You're good. It's easy.
So that's what I was asking you then. Because if it's hard for you, isn't it a strength issue, a size issue? Garcia being the guy to move up, or do you think that they're evenly matched up physically?
Physically, I think they're evenly matched up. Remember, Broner.
How is it difficult for you?
Because Broner is still an X factor in every fight. He's out there partying with Nick. Hold on, he's out there partying with Nicki Minaj last night till 2 a.m. or 2 a.m. West Coast time. He was in the East Coast, so good for him. So he's obviously not training. He's not dedicated to the sport. So when we were talking about the article, stitching back to that article by Andreas Hale.
Wait a minute.
The quotes about him coming back. Hold on. Let me finish my point.
Matt, I was the one on Jamaica. I didn't know he was even no fucking Nikki. What's up? I mean, slow down. And just like many listeners that didn't know, fill us in. Fast guy.
He was on an Instagram live video with Nicki Minaj at some club. That's all I know.
But was he showing her, or was they on there together? Like
they were next to each other. They were next to each other. I don't know if they were together.
Knowledge that he was on a live stream.
Oh yeah, she was dancing, and they were together. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Damn.
So just kudos to
Let me go check this out. Where's my phone at? Let me go check this out, guys. I'm gonna do this for the TBV Army.
Yes, go check it out.
Wait, shit, was it a live stream? It might not be there then.
Oh, no, go check. It might have been his story on Instagram. Check that. But back to the point. I think that Adrien Broner is a very talented boxer, and like you said, even if he loses this fight, he could come back into boxing and be an elite champion. That is always within the realm of possibility with a guy with that talent. But the dedication to the sport has just never really been there recently. So I can never back that as of yet. And with what I've seen with him on Instagram, going to Migos concerts, hanging out with Ray Swimmerd, hanging out with Sway Lee, hanging out with Gucci Mane, hanging out with Nicki Minaj, partying till
he's doing hot yoga here on his last post 2 hours ago.
That's great for him. Do that hot yoga. You probably need to, get the alcohol out of your system.
Tag July 29th.
That's great. Get the alcohol out of your system. But anyways,
so it sounds like you're picking against Broner. It sounds like you're pegging him to be inconsistent with his training.
Yes.
So so how is it a difficult pick for you?
The camp hasn't, I would say, officially started yet. We're about 8 weeks out, so camp's really starting now. So if he stops going to these concerts, stops going to clubs, stops partying, and all I see on Instagram videos is him training, then I will change my mind. I will.
Well, Matt, let me tell you something. All you seen on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s Instagram was him training. Did that fucking mean anything?
No, but it definitely made it more interesting. It did bring a level of, well, he looks dedicated.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. And again, I think most of the boxing community believe that, and still believe, I would say, that Chavez was dedicated for that camp. He was just clearly not in the level of a Canelo Alvarez. And we're not going to get that with this fight because Mikey Garcia and Broner are both elite boxers, both elite talents. And I think they're relatively similar in terms of talent level. So we're going to get a very evenly matched, skilled fight, probably going to go to decision and be a tight, close-knit scorecard.
Really?
But what do you think about
I think that the fans are gonna see. This is definitely a poll show that needs to be done. I think that the fans will pick Mikey as the favorite. There's a quote in the article where Broner says, "I want this to be the best performance of my career. I feel like my back is up against the wall and it's time to fight." But
give me a break.
Exactly, because this sounds like a direct conflict. The exact opposite, excuse me, of what you just said you witnessed yesterday on an Instagram story.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, early pick. I mean, you got to go with Mikey, who's already in the ring, might I add. Imitating Broner. He's in there with Big Ed, Edward,
Mm-hmm.
Big Ed Guado up in there, practicing on uppercuts and working on power. And then they got they have Robert Garcia Jr. imitating Broner with pads. So they're working. They started a training camp way longer than 8 weeks.
All I see from Mikey Garcia's, Instagram videos is training.
Training, bro.
All I see from Broner's is partying.
Yo, and the worst thing is, even before, wasn't that post of him like running in the mountains even before like this shit was even announced? Like he was just running randomly in the mountains and shit, staying in shape. He probably all the time knew. They both kind of all the time knew, because you can see now that there were signs in a lot of their interviews. Excuse me?
It was in the works for a while, you can tell.
Yeah. But there's another quote where Broner says something interesting, man.
Oh God.
Everyone was saying I'm not taking tough fights, and now I am. This is gonna be a fight. Again, I want to believe him, but this is why my early pick is Mikey, because look, I came into this show thinking that I could believe he would, based on this article and these quotes, that he would step it up and kind of get it together. Because I know personally, I spoke to Kevin Cunningham. He's actually the one training him out there in West Palm, where we're going to be possibly using that gym for border wars, and they've been there, bro. He's been there. And from there, he's been, flying obviously back and forth, but he's been down there getting work in because he's got something in the works. Even Devin Alexander is rumored to be on this undercard, who's also been training for about a year now, bro.
And against Luis Collazo, I love that fight. I really hope that happens.
Yeah, Collazo's still campaigning for a Danny fight. I seen he's on the Instagram talking about, yo, Danny, let's get a fight fans what they want. And I was like, I don't know if that's what we want. Because, I don't even think that Danny himself shouldn't take that. Danny kind of needs a Mikey Garcia fight. He's in that Adrien Broner kind of realm right now. You know that. People, right. Yeah, look, yo, people are questioning Danny now after the Thurman loss.
Oh, you mean that way? I didn't know what you meant by people are considering him like a Broner.
Well, yeah, like a Broner, like he needs that. He's got to show the world, like, because it's like Matisse Khan. That's it. Like, you got a lot of.
Obviously, it's off topic, but Danny is a mixture of a lot of unfortunate circumstances that leads to a lot of hate. One is his father. Two is the amount of close fights he's had that a lot of people think are robberies that will always turn the boxing public, especially hardcores, against you. And I'll also say, like, his own style, like he is confident / cocky in a way, and I don't fault him for that because I know that's what it takes for the elites. But for some reason, people don't like confidence or cockiness or arrogance, and Danny Garcia has that in spades, and so does his dad. And when you get that combination of those two characters together, you're going to create hate, along with fights like the Mauricio Herrera fight, along like the Lamont Peterson fight, and so forth and so forth.
Yeah, but he needs a Mikey Garcia fight. See, Broner wins this fight. This puts him back in good graces. And it justifies a lot of statements. If he can win this fight.
And impressively, not like the Adrian Granados win. I'm sorry. It has to be
long. When's the last time he was impressive to you?
Maybe not impressive, but dominant. I'll put that way. Or clearly the winner. Because there were a section of fans that Granados beat him.
So I guess you categorize like the Molina win a dominant.
Yeah, it may not be impressive, but it was dominant.
See, I don't want that. I don't think he could afford that. He needs a DeMarco type performance.
What do you think is better, a Molina type win or a war that's controversial and he gets the win?
Obviously, the latter, man. You can't go with no fucking controversial war. It's got to be a Molina win if it's going to be anything, because he needs this to be that I don't know, that pass that the fight fans give him. Like, all right,
because you're always as good as your last fight. So Broner on a dime can always make the public change their perception,
but not in his case, right? Because for him, it's like you're only as good as your last 3 fights. Because he gives, like, he fights 3 guys, and I'm no disrespect, again, now that I'm training, it's like, yo, I don't even want to say half the things I have to say because it's so hard just to punch on the fucking heavy bag, B. But like, he fights 3 guys that we are not interested in, then he takes a loss in a legitimate fight. Not a fight where his back's against the wall, not a fight where the negotiations didn't go his way, that he's got some weight restrictions or he's moving. No, legitimate fights. He just loses them. So, he really needs this. He really needs this. I hope he can get it.
Do we have any more callers?
We do. I hope they didn't drop off. Jesus.
And I believe Frank Coleman is NO. The really? NO. I believe so.
Frank.
Mr. Frank.
Mr. NO, is that true?
Can you hear me?
That ain't no NO because he don't sound like NO.
My bad.
I'm definitely not NO.
What up, Frank? So talk to us. First time caller?
Nah, man. I've been with y'all since the pre-fight of Ward and Chad Dawson.
Damn, Ward Chad Dawson, sweet.
OG.
Yeah, I'm an OG. But nah, man, just got signed up to Patreon. So appreciate the show that y'all did earlier. I kind of wanted to speak on it as a person who definitely donates. I was donating before Patreon, so I understand why y'all doing it, man. I appreciate everything that you guys provide. You definitely opened up boxing for me, man. So thank y'all. But in regards to Broner and Garcia, I think this is a fire fight. One, because I think Garcia is a great fighter. He's coming up. I think Broner's a good fighter, and he's the bigger fighter, so it's going to make it a very, very even match. I'm not sure who I want to pick yet, but I love it. I can't wait for it.
Very quickly, you said that Mikey is a great fighter and Broner is a good fighter. Why do you make that distinction?
I say that because, and I'm glad you said that, because maybe I shouldn't have said it that way, but here's what I'll say. I think Broner's negative is we instantly have compared him to Floyd, and it's his fault. So because he doesn't meet the Floyd, level, we kind of discredit him a lot when he doesn't look great against a lot of different fighters. But he really is a really good fighter. So maybe I shouldn't have said great and good. You're probably right, Matt. But it's still, I still feel that it's
honest. You could be right though. I mean, and you may not have meant that, but you could be right that Broner is just a really good fighter and a really good boxer, and Mikey Garcia is just a great one. I mean, Mikey Garcia is undefeated. We haven't seen him go through the losses that Broner has. It's very hard to say that one guy is worse than the other when he has no losses and the other guy does.
Right, but I think I probably shouldn't have said great because I still think Garcia has things to prove just as much as I think we would say we want Broner to prove some stuff. But Garcia just looks great at his weight class currently. So that's why I say that. But I just think it's going to be a very even fight. I'm leaning to Garcia right now. I'm not 100% sure if I want to make that my prediction just yet, but I just think it's going to be a really good fight because what people take away, I think diehards from Broner is he's got heart, dude. Even if he's not Floyd, that guy got heart. He doesn't go in there, even when he's has challenges, man. He's not quitting. So Garcia got to come to play.
Yeah, he's not quitting, but he don't got dog in him though. Like he doesn't.
Think Broner does.
That Maidana fight kind of showed it towards the end.
Spurts.
Yeah,
No, it's in spurts, Matt. It's in spurts, Matt. Yeah, I
agree with that.
He'll give you, like, it's not like he's gonna say, "Damn, I'm down."
Right.
The first 6 rounds, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it up in high drive for the last 6. He doesn't do that.
Right.
He'll go in the ring.
Correct.
He'll go in the ring. He'll give you maybe a minute worth of fighting. Then he'll do some bullshit, some Broner antics, some hugging, some humps on your ass, something stupid, a punch behind the head. Then in another minute go by and he's taking shots from the guy and shaking his head. Then nothing ain't happening. Then the last minute he might come on and he might fucking do something flashy. But like, yo, Broner's mad inconsistent, man. He's mad inconsistent. I can't even, I want to root for him. But
I do too, man.
But not in this fight, not versus Mikey. Mikey is a professional. He is a professional who is seeking greatness. Who is seeking greatness, might I add. This man has a title at 135 and he's willing to move up. And again, I'm basing him beating Broner on Broner beating himself. Not just on the fact that Mikey is this great fighter, but just the fact that you don't know what version of Broner you're gonna get.
Let's say hypothetically we get a good Broner though. Let's say he is training 100%. He is dedicated to the sport. Does Broner win?
Mikey's still better than
Mikey's
fucking. Listen, Mikey is.
I just want to clarify that.
Listen, Mikey is still better than fucking. What's this kid's name? Oliver Kurdiev. Still better than Theo Payne. Still better than Granados. Man, you can't. Mikey is a fucking he could have went to the Olympics.
Mikey skill-wise is better than Porter.
Probably.
Yeah.
But is he as strong as Porter? That's what's important. This is why I keep saying.
But that's what makes it even, though.
No, that's what makes it interesting. Exactly. That's what makes it not even because we don't know yet. We don't know yet because Mikey. Listen, Mikey.
Interesting because you got a bigger guy who's a good and has skill fighter fighting a guy that we feel is really, really good, who's a smaller coming up fighter. So it's gonna be a good fight.
Yo, there's been rumors about Mikey Garcia sparring for years. For years, he's been sparring with Maidana, with so many names, everybody that comes through that Robert Garcia Academy. We're talking about a guy that never took a day off, even when he was off. He was still in that gym working.
There's sparring footage of Mikey and Maidana you can find on YouTube, actually.
Plenty of shit out there, bro. There's plenty of shit out there. Mikey gets in there with everybody. So my only worry is he big enough for the weight? Because he didn't do the weight the way that, you know,
Broner's not that big. Broner's not that big. Let's be honest. Broner's like 5'5".
Bro, how many times you met Broner? Broner's big, bro.
Bro, that's the reason why you lean to Garcia.
He's big in mass, but he's not tall.
Because he is big. He's gonna have to drain down.
Well, I don't know. I mean, at 140, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right, because he's been missing weight too. This is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I can't mess with that guy. I can't mess with that guy. I need someone consistent, man. That's like a bad mechanic, bro. I don't want to deal with no mechanic like that.
Is it official that it's 140 though?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 140. It's 140, and Frank, fucking Garcia saying that he wants to come back down to 35 even after beating Broner. Dude's serious, man.
Go fight Linares.
Yo, he's serious.
But you know what? But it makes sense though.
Yeah.
Broner's the name that he needs.
Exactly.
Broner's the name that he needs, and then he could go back down and clean out 135.
Exactly.
Let's be honest. Mike Garcia moving up to 140 and fighting either Broner or Crawford. What does more for his brand? It's Broner.
No, I mean, yo, if he beats Broner, that Crawford fight becomes big.
Yeah, exactly.
Broner's the guy that everybody knows. No matter people don't really, the casual fans aren't paying attention to necessarily whether he's the best or not right now. He's just a known fighter who's good.
Yo, but Mikey's older, man. Mikey's older than Broner. Mikey's 29. They're using Mikey. They're using Broner as the stepping stone.
Yeah,
I mean, is Broner and Frank? Let me get back to Matt here, but thanks again for calling in, and thank you for signing up, man.
Awesome call too. Awesome call.
Yeah, awesome call. I don't know if you went through all the perks, man, because we are going to be doing a live fight chat at 9 o'clock, where we, you know, kind of turn off our TV and just watch the fight via Matt being Bernstein, and I'm his.
Whoa. I'm Bernstein.
And I'm your Steve Farhood. Damn, what the fuck?
Wait, what? And you're Steve Farhood? Those are the worst comparisons.
Why? All right, you're the element, and
how are you Steve Farhood?
Dude, I mean, it's not
everyone in the chat. Please tell me who.
Dude, it's not a direct comparison. It's just like, you know,
weird. I just didn't
analogy. Jeez Louise, two commentators.
Come on, you're Mauro Ronaldo.
Oh my god.
I'm not Paulie Igloo. Get the fuck out of here with that.
God. Yo. So damn, Broner's Vada enrolled though, people, and so is Mikey. This is a good fight. This is a good fight, man. I'm really excited this one happened, and like I said, it just proves things. It really does. It kind of gives Broner, and he's got the edge, man. He's got the edge because Mikey's coming up in weight, man. He's coming up in weight. He's only fought as high as 138, bro. I don't know, and that's probably what he's going to come in at. I mean, and it's does he want to be fast? Is it smart to be? I don't know. That's what we don't know either. What if Broner can sleep him with this stainless? What's up, baby? What if Broner could sleep him with his jab the way he did Molina? Molina was nullified with the speed of the jab.
I think Mike Garcia may have a more technical jab. It may not be the fastest jab, but I feel like it's the most technical. Right? I mean, like Adrien Broner has that, like you know, like when Deontay Wilder has his jab like on point. That's like Adrien Broner's jab. Well, Mike Garcia has the Vladimir Klitschko jab.
Mikey Garcia is the Vladimir Klitschko. That's right. Yes, the more consistent, methodical, technical, thudding jab. You're absolutely right. I do agree with that. But Igloo, I think it's Igloo that said that this is a perfect setup for a Crawford fight, and I agree. I totally agree. If Mikey and his team can get past Broner in a spectacular fashion, well, they're gonna have to mention his name. And there's a rivalry there. Remember, Crawford already beat Mikey. Yeah, he did in the amateurs. So, yo, listen, there's so much not rivalry, right? That's me using that word. I don't know. I guess because it's synonymous with boxing, feels like the right thing to say. But they did fight in the amateurs, but there isn't any rivalry. There's actually a friendship, so much so that Mikey Garcia introduced Terrence Crawford to his then manager, Cameron Duncan, now manager of Terrence Crawford.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, man. I'm
I knew they found the amateurs. I knew that whole part. I didn't realize they had the same manager.
At one point.
At one point. Yeah, at one point.
Yeah, and Mikey has no manager right now.
That's right. Mikey is a sole free agent in every sense of the word.
Yeah, but I got tons of gems, bro. I fucking man, so much shit. Like I talked to a lot of them, and it's just, I don't know, stuff that you just talk about that you can't do anything with. That's why I want to start setting up the camera at the gym, because that trainer, terrific. Like he was the former trainer, Kendall Hall, Glenn Tapia. He's training that dude now from Catskill, New York, Iron Mash, Paul Wolak. He's trained from Fora. He's trained what's this other the heavyweight? He's got a fight too, right? Spielka. He's trained Adam. Yeah, he's trained Adam Granados. And
alive. Good for him, man.
Yo, and he shut me down. Like
what do you mean he shut you down? Oh, because you're wild as boy.
He was like, yo, I thought you knew your shit. I thought you knew. Like Paul Wolak walks in the gym and he's like, man, I thought you knew your shit, man. You don't know who that is. I'm like, yo, I don't know. He like, man, that's Wolak. I'm like, who? Paul Wolak? He like, yeah. I'm like, damn. Yo, I ain't recognize him off top. Let me get Idris on. Idris, you still want in here? I'm like, yo, I ain't recognize him right off the top. But yeah, I mean, look, it just opens your mind, Matt, right? Because I swear to you, he could have sandbagged me, and I probably would have not been welcomed in that gym. We talk so much boxing in that gym that if he would have started the conversation like, yo, what you think about Wolak? I'll be like, I would have started off nice, being like, yeah, no, he was a good fighter in his day. And he's like, nah, but what would you say about Wolak if I say he was making a comeback? I would have probably the oldness.
Oldness.
Yeah, no, I'm evolving. I'm evolving. Going to this gym, I have to.
Jamaica, man. You went on some like ayahuasca DMT like trip and like change.
I wish I would have got some fucking ayahuasca, man. That's Brazil, baby. Fuck. Patreon ain't there, baby. We ain't getting no Brazil, man. And when we go to get some ayahuasca, I got to go with you, right? But I mean, you have experience obviously with psychedelics, and you got to be around people that you're comfortable with, because you could have a fucked up trip. That's when I used to listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. I learned about ayahuasca. That motherfucker loves that shit and talk about it. But where were we? You got me so far off topic.
Dude, I don't know, but I got a topic I want to talk about when it comes to this fight. It being under Showtime and not PBC, in a sense. And we talked a little bit off air. Actually,
failure. I think it's a failure on PBC's part to continue to allow these big fights not to be branded by PBC. It just opens up the door for the haters. Yeah. But I think that PBC is going in a different route. PBC is going to be Fox Sports 1 now, and it's going to be the developmental fights, kind of like your ESPN, but for the Al Heyman fighters. And Showtime is getting to be your HBO for the premium fighters. It's what it's looking like, man. I mean, it is what it looks like.
And I mean, are we okay with that? I mean, not maybe me and you, but like, is the boxing public okay with that? I mean, because we were sold that PBC is going to bring boxing back to regular television. We're going to get on Fox and CBS, and NBC. We're gonna get on all these free channels that everyone can get as long as they have a TV. Basically. So to me, it's just interesting, like what the backlash is going to be if this is a continued route. I don't think it's a continued route. I know you sort of think it is, that this is just the new entity that is PBC, that they're just a developmental league on Fox Sports 1. But all they're waiting for is a TV contract.
Exactly.
That's all they've been waiting for is that.
But that's the problem. It's similar to the issue that we have, right? Do they keep giving out big fights on like CBS and Fox and these things for free because he bought this time in hopes of getting new subscribers? Or does he just take it where they're already giving them money for so that he could continue to have this stable of fighters and give? I mean, this fucking year is amazing.
Yes, amazing year of boxing.
I've never seen anything like it. It's just fine. I mean, this year is so good that Fonfora versus Stevenson, it looks good right now, mixed into everything, not separating one from the other, not, being a fucking glass half empty boxing fan talking about PBC versus HBO. No, mixed in. It's like, all right, whatever, Fonfora, did he really earn this shot? It's really supposed to be Joe Smith, but whatever. We got Broner Garcia. You know what I mean?
It's supposed to be the guy in the co-main event.
What?
Adrien Alvarez, who's fighting John Pascal.
Yeah, he took step-aside money. Stop with this nonsense. When your guys take step-aside money, stop fucking banging.
I'm going to be a hipster, damn it, okay?
No, but you can't. You can't. Victor Postal took the fucking money. You can have balls. No, you can have balls and be Earl Spence.
I wasn't Victor Postal.
Believe in yourself, or you can go for the bag of money. You can take that step aside knowing that you still have a mandatory shot to negotiate 90 days after. And the greedy man takes the step aside because the greedy man isn't training like Terrence Crawford. The greedy man isn't training like fucking Earl Spence.
Ness, can you play that one soundbite? Because I don't have Blog Talk open.
Which one?
The soundbite.
I know you.
The one that you love that I always play. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
What?
Not that one. Come on, man. The conspiracy one.
Oh, I don't have that. You have that. That's why I tell you to play it.
That's on Blog Talk. That's one of yours.
What?
Yes. That's Illuminati. That's what the name of it is.
Oh, yeah. I do have that.
Yeah, play that shit.
Damn, I need to change that shit. Yo.
It's the X-Files, isn't it?
I know. That's what it sounds like. The X-Files. All this time I've been thinking it's the X-Files and I don't have it because mine is labeled. Fucking hell.
Anyways, to my conspiracy theory, with the UFC deal, I know. Hold on.
How do you do this?
With the UFC deal up and for Fox in about a year, and all signs point to them jettisoning away from Fox. That UFC is going to leave the Fox network completely for a huge deal with either ESPN or NBC. Basically speaking, there's going to be an open slot on Fox for combat sports that they want because they realize it's a commodity. And with the already established relationship with the Fox network, like you've said, for their quote-unquote developmental league, PBC is going to snatch up a contract within a year with Fox. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And it's going to be a big contract.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope. Because at the end of the day, sport we love, bro. Adrien Broner, Mikey Garcia, talk to us.
Hey man, I feel like this is a super fight, man. I'm actually excited about it, but the only thing I'm worried about is does Adrien Broner actually make 140? Really and truly, I don't know, man. I think if it decides to be a catch weight as we get closer to the fight, it will say a lot about Adrien Broner's determination in actually really trying to win this fight. So it'll just say a lot about his training and that. But this is what I see. I see in Crawford unifying by the end of the year, maybe start of next year. And then what happens if he vacates every single title goes up? That's just going to be like it's going to cause a little bit of a you know, what's going to happen? All these ranking systems and everything. Maybe the 140 division is just going to be like a free-for-all, isn't it? You're going to see a lot of 135 guys go up, and it's just going to cause some sort of like a domino effect, and the 130s are going to go up. I think Crawford moving up has a big effect on the 130 and the 135 division, because it's just going to be like an open division, and then it's just going to keep moving up. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Crawford's already at 140, bro. Idris?
He's gone.
He's gone. I don't know. Did I hear him wrong, or did he said, what do we think about Crawford moving up and opening up 140? Or did he
may have said 147 and we just misheard him? But again, opening up 147, that doesn't make a lot of sense. 147's super hot right now, I would say. That you have Thurman and Spence that are really becoming not stars, but they're becoming names in a way that are bigger than a lot of other names in the sport. So Crawford going up there is just going to be another guy in the mix. I will say, especially since Crawford isn't a star. But if he's talking about talent, yeah, Crawford can go in any division and beat all those guys. He's that good.
Does a win over Mikey Garcia prepare Broner for Crawford? Is it just is it just that fight to get Kellerman saying like, oh, there's a guy at 140 who just established himself over a good fighter in Mikey Garcia? You know you're gonna get that shit.
Dude, I can totally see Max and his cadence doing that. Yeah, I can see it. It will be a way to get bigger fights. Absolutely. Is it a way to prepare for Crawford in a boxing aspect? I wouldn't say so. I think Crawford's a very different style of boxer than a Mikey Garcia. So I don't know how that would prepare him in that way, but it will propel him to getting bigger fights again. He could go in, if he beats Mikey Garcia, he can face anyone at 147, anyone at 140, and even at 135 if he's that risky to lose that much weight. He can face anyone. He becomes a name again to where he's the A side in a sense.
Talk to me, Idris.
Yeah. Do you see also the O'Hara Davis and his fight in July?
Josh Taylor against Josh Taylor?
Against Taylor. Yeah.
That's a really good fight.
That's a 140 fight, and that's a fight that both promoters didn't want because they're two actually really good prospects. And they, when two prospects is pretty much, I wouldn't say it's on the scale of like Farmer Davis, but there's a reason they don't want to fight Davis against certain people because in a way he's established, but he's still young, and they want to build him to get that big fight. But these two, they're not established. Taylor and O'Hara Davis. Even in the UK, I wouldn't say they're really established, but they're two people that both promotions think can be world champion at some day. So for them to want to fight each other now, they're forcing it. They've actually forced the promotions to make the fight happen. And it's like one of the promotions is someone's gonna come out as a hype job and one's not. It's one of them situations rather than the promotions keep cherry picking them and giving them some sort of journeyman or European title and then stuff like that and going up afterwards.
I don't think that fight or the Davis-Taylor fight is a representation of like one guy ending up being a hype job. Look at James DeGale, George Groves. I mean, it could be that type of fight where we have two really highly touted prospects going at it very early and both still having a great career afterwards.
But Josh Taylor, he's not on his level. He's gonna have to get a mandatory spot or get a belt. Like, why the fuck would Davis? Are we talking about Tank?
No, O'Hara Davis.
Okay. Prospect.
This fight's at 140, not 130.
Yeah, I seen that got announced. Okay, no. And what weight does O'Hara normally fight at? He's normally 140.
Yeah, 140. It's a 140 fight.
Yeah, no, this is good. It's no different than George Groves and
DeGale. That's the perfect representation.
And any other, no, I mean, shit, for us, that's for them, UK, right? So you're right, it is the perfect one, shit. But for us, it's Eddie Gomez when he took on Daquan Arnett. Everybody's like, get the fuck out of here. Golden Boy's matching up two fucking prospects, and both of them were pretty good. Like, Look, Daquan Arnett was just in Earl Spence's camp for Kell Brook. And, you know, Eddie Gomez, there was a lot of hype on him. You know, he was a Brooklyn Honduran fighter. You know, Golden Boy had high hopes. So, yeah, I mean, those things are needed, bro. Those things are needed, man. Gomez looked the part for so long. I remember when I first met him, bro, I told him, I said, Matt, I said, Gomez, bro, 54, really? Yo, you got to get down to like 40. Got to, but he's like Broner. If you Google Eddie Gomez and Adrien Broner side by side, look at them body wise, bro. You know, I don't know why. I don't know if he could get down or not. I mean, he obviously can't because the lowest he got to was 47. But you check his box rec, bro. This dude, I watched all his fights, every single one. This dude's been, he's been at 54, and it's just difficult for these guys, bro. Sometimes to lose that muscle mass because essentially that's what you're losing to get into these weight classes, man. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Weight classes consistently, yes.
Well, listen, I think we should cut out of here. We got to get ready. We're going to be finally getting some boxing from me. I don't know. What were you able to see while I was gone? Did anything happen at all?
For fights?
Yeah, nothing. I mean, you're the fucking hipster.
There's the Bradley Skeet fight last night.
Oh, yeah. I got a link to that by my boy Davey.
Shitty stoppage, but
Bradley Skeet won?
Yeah, but really bad stoppage. But he looked good. Bradley Skeet and Sam
is still at 47 or is he what?
Yeah, 147. He looks big for 147, man.
Get a fight essentially, but you know, he should really go for the hometown fight. You know, Skeet versus Eggington sounds like
my God. I love that fight. I love it.
Got tattoos and shit. You know, it'll work out for them.
You know what? I can see Eddie Hearn putting both those guys up against American names.
You seen Eddie Hearn's tweet? Speaking of the devil?
No.
Someone asked him. One of our listeners asked him, and he shared it on our Twitter. You could check it in our DM. And he's like, yo, do you still got options on Ndongo? And Eddie tweeted yes from his verified Twitter.
Oh, since you bring up Ndongo, and the chat has been talking about Crawford and Ndongo, and since we're talking about 140, because it's a Broner Garcia show, 140.
Who in the chat said that? I don't see anyone saying that.
What do you mean? So many people in the.
I see nothing about Ndongo here. Oh, boom.
The YouTube live chat? What are you talking about? Come on, man.
Aaron tweeted earlier the Ndongo versus Crawford fight is in the works for August.
Anyways, the IBF going to strip Julius Ndongo, I think is a fucking travesty.
That is sad.
That's a fucking travesty.
This is the second time now because this would be the same thing that they did when Fury tried to get a rematch with Vladimir.
I think
I don't understand that about them. I think, look, didn't I give you the information on them already?
For the IBF, what do you mean their information? Like their contact information?
Yes.
I need to check that again.
We need a secondary. We need an intern. We need an intern. This is the wrong show to be saying that. I should be saying that
on a YouTube show.
On a YouTube show, but we need a fucking intern, bro. Because
we had one for like a second, but he never did anything.
Who was that?
It was that one college kid that hit me up and sent in one article. I published it, and then he just never did anything. Never contacted me again. You know.
I have no clue, but you know, we need to schedule some sort of episode with one of these IBF characters. They need to come forward and understand and have us understand
how this is for the betterment of boxing.
Why do unifications not take precedent? Like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? Why would they strip him? Why wouldn't they want their fight, their belt, promoted amongst one of the biggest fights in that division? Like, it's stupidity.
It's become the undisputed not lineal.
It's counterproductive. It's stupid. I mean, who are these people? And her name is like Jeanette.
Oh, I definitely have that. I think. I can
contact. It's unfortunate. It's like, yo, dumb people's names should not be nice names. It should be like something really bad where it's okay. You know, that's why he's so dumb, because his fucking name is whatever the dumbest name you could think of, right? Because I don't get that shit, bro. That's, you know, that would be the same Fury thing over.
Look, here's the thing, and I've said this countless times, and I don't know, I don't want to be a dead horse, but the sanctioning bodies aren't something to be glorified in any sort of aspect. When we have callers or anyone say, "Oh, the WBC belt, like that's the belt, that's the sanctioning body," or they go, "Oh, the IBF, they respect the mandatories, blah blah." Don't rep these sanctioning bodies. Stop.
No, I am victim of that because listen, IBF
they're not
outside of this, IBF mandates their fucking mandatories. It's not in question like the WBC right now with Stavern. We're just waiting and waiting and waiting. It's always a fucking question. All of a sudden they pull a magic trick out the hat and someone's demanded. It doesn't work like that with the IBF. What we need is all of them to get on board. They need to take the WBC belt and all those little faces on the side where Ali and all the motherfuckers at, they need to go ahead and put the other sanctioning bodies there or under that. Put more circles on there. And become fucking Transformers sanctioning bodies.
Become a sole sanctioning body?
Yes. Stop with the bullshit.
It'll never happen.
Take a couple of people from each committee and each president. One president, 2 committee members, and make one giant committee per fucking sanctioning body and make it global because they're all in different parts of the world. That's the right way to do it, man. The garbage that they're doing is ridiculous. But listen, it's time to wrap it up. We got to definitely get ready. We're gonna get some boxing on PBC, and I guess
on Showtime.
I don't need to tell you, on Showtime. I guess I don't need to tell you that we're coming back with a live fight chat here on Patreon because if you're listening to this, then you know that. Unless do you not get to see it at all, Matt? Because I don't know how it works as a consumer. Like, when we do a live fight chat, do you even see? Does it say it's locked, or do you? What do you see?
Depends. If I'm on the app, I will not get it in the feed at all. Actually,
really.
If I'm on like my laptop, or if I go through like Safari on my phone, it would be a locked. I can't get it, and it'll say you can upgrade to this slot and see this.
That sucks.
Yeah. So if you're using the app, anyone. You will not see the live chat, so that may be why you do not know we are doing them, unfortunately. So, upgrade.
That is something that Matt should have said
on the YouTube show.
On the last show.
That's the weed, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for
that Jamaican shit,
Neil White said that the link wasn't working for him. I hope that was not.
Check your browser. It could be your browser. Patreon has issues with Safari sometimes. Using any sort of Apple products. Try not to use Safari at all, actually, because Safari is just a shit browser.
I never have issues with Safari.
Oh, I do.
Really? But you got a Windows. No, you got a Mac.
Yeah, of course I got a Mac. Come on.
Strange. All right, so we will be back with the live fight chat, and hopefully Adonis Superman Stevens can make himself relevant, because the real people in that division is Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. Like, Adonis has, for the last 2-3 years, made his own world. He's like part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, this motherfucker.
Think about guys like Scorsese who ride with Adonis Stevenson like no other.
I know.
Like he has a cult.
He'll never know. That's another one. Actually,
you'll never know.
Luke, you said, "Oh, how are guys like Georgie gonna call in?" Would you believe it? Georgie's not even a Patreon, so how would he call in? Isn't that sad? I mean, like every other caller that they're pretty much a patron. Like which callers aren't patrons is the game we should play.
And no shots to the OGs of TV, but all you OG callers are usually not Patreon members. Just saying, come on, step up. You've been riding with us for years and years.
But
$3 a month, $7 a month.
Should do some really quick not announcements, but shout outs, right? Because during that one show, that's why from now on, moving forward, we're gonna make sure that we do at least one TBV Patreon only announcement kind of update show for free on YouTube. But Timothy pledged about an hour ago. Shout out to Timothy. Thank you so much.
Shout out.
Damn, Info Joe said goodbye about an hour ago. D Brown pledged about an hour ago. Eric Cruz updated. And All Day Dre also just updated. So All Day Dre, you'll be hearing this shout out because he moved up to the $3 level. And yeah, man, we want to thank everyone that obviously tuned in. We'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern we're going to do the whole card, right? Might as well.
Well, it's not like it's a long card. It's only a doubleheader, I believe.
All right. It's still an undercard.
Well, I mean, what undercard? I mean,
Eldelir Alvarez, no?
That's not undercard. That's a main card to me. You're talking to a guy that watches UFC where like a fight.
Pascal?
Yeah, he's fighting Pascal.
How is that a main card? Please, bro. Pascal's like.
What do you mean?
Isn't he like almost? He should be done at this point.
He should be done, but
he's like the 175-pound version of Berto.
The second fight from the top.
Berto, I keep cutting you off because I got so many good things. I haven't talked boxing in 7. I don't know.
We're just all amped. We're angry.
Listen. Isn't Berto like? No? John Pascal is the 175-pound version of Berto, and isn't Broner, if he loses, the new Berto?
I would never compare John Pascal to Berto.
Why not?
At least before this, I never thought about that.
What's his best win?
John Pascal?
Yeah, he beat Frotch, or did he lose to Frotch like 20 years ago?
He lost to Frotch. Did he beat Kessler?
His best win is a robbery over B-Hop.
Are we bringing that back?
I'm just saying. I mean, what has he done, especially lately?
He hasn't done anything lately except he beat Uneski Gonzalez.
Oh yeah,
No,
that fight looked horrible.
He didn't beat him. Let's be honest, he lost.
Listen,
John Pascal is not.
I get him now that I understand the sport from the inside out. The muscles. He throws those big punches. He has those big muscles. He gasses smooth out. But
wasn't he undefeated?
Listen, his best, and that Chad Dawson, we remember, was because of the cut, man. This dude has been very successful at, his best win is Lucien Boutin.
I like the Berto comparison. I just never thought about it before. I'm not saying I don't agree with it. I'm just saying I never thought about that comparison before.
That's why I'm Ness, because I think of this shit.
What, just throwing fighters under the rug, saying they're trash?
I never.
Berto's gonna come at you, bro.
I never called them trash. This is Patreon only, but I never called them trash. Never. Yeah. So Neil White couldn't get it to work. No clue why. James Dixon says if AB doesn't win or at least get a draw, he's a journeyman. No hate at all. Just real talk.
Wow, I wouldn't say journeyman.
3 fights within 2 years. What happened?
I would never say journeyman. I think he needs to look up the definition of what a journeyman is in boxing.
All right, let's look it up. We never get out of here with Matt. I'll tell you that right now.
No, because I can argue boxing.
A worker or sports player who is reliable but not outstanding. A solid journeyman, professional. Sounds about right. Maybe he's right. You're wrong. He goes on to say, you lose 3 fights within 2 years. Psychologically, you start to doubt yourself in the big fights, in my opinion. With that said, though, I think someone is getting knocked out. He also says Broner might show us something this fight. He better, because this could turn him into a journeyman if he does not win. Looking forward to this window.
Very quickly.
New Jersey Hammer Time. He says, how much does a 1 hour Patreon show cost? Well, it wouldn't be in a Patreon show. It would be an on-demand show, but that really depends on your preference, right? You go to ThaBoxingvoice.com, which we will be having Border Wars up there. We got a really amazing banner made up, kind of funny, keeping it funny. We also are going to be having the appreciation night of information out there to get everybody ready for that, because it's better for us to plan early. But if you go to ThaBoxingvoice.com/on-demand, right, then you have plenty of options. You can do a 15-minute show for as low as $35, my friend. $35. So just go there and make sure you click all the right options that you want, and also make sure that you are very specific about what you want discussed in said topic. We just got a couple of more messages, I think.
And very quickly, I just want to address the journeyman thing, because you went up to, I think, like a very, very, very shitty definition of what a journeyman is and boxing, the context of boxing and fighting. And I know people might shit on me. Wikipedia has a page on it about boxing. In boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts, a journeyman is a fighter who has adequate skills, but is not of the caliber of a contender or a gatekeeper. Adrien Broner is better than a gatekeeper, and he's definitely a contender, at least. So I mean, let's just be real. And Broner is still technically a lineal champion of one of the belts at 140.
Well,
I guess, how did Ricky Burns get that title?
I don't know. I know that Matt hasn't talked boxing since I've been gone, so he's going through a little withdrawal here. Doesn't want to let the show go. Intro's gone, outro's gone. I'm your host, Ness GTO. I want to thank everyone that tuned into this show, especially you guys, right? This is a Patreon-only show, and I'm glad that you're listening. Mr. Hipster.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone out there on Patreon. Like I said on the YouTube show, like, this is my full-time job. This is my career. I do this for you guys, and to have you guys here, the family that I consider, people that support me in that way. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you can obviously find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my Mixed Martial Arts podcast, Mixed Combat Radio, you can find on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. We also did a boxing show this last week because Ness was out, so you can catch that too. Casual fan Enrique himself joined me on that show, so you can catch that on the playback piece.
Yeah, I just want to say that for all those quote unquote OGs out there, a lot of you guys have been riding for a long time, and there's been many different variations, but I feel strongly about this version. I think Matt is a great guy, a guy that is consistent, which is important. And with that being said, Patreon is obviously for the brand itself, and Matt is a part of that. And I feel that we're going to get somewhere. We've never really had another kind of me, man. Nobody matched my hustle, but Matt does. Really does. That's why we were producing so many shows throughout the day. So we're just going to revamp and refocus that attention on quality content for sure. But we'll be back at 9. Do some live fight chats. Definitely glad to be back, Matt.
Yes, thank God.
It was good talking. It was good talking. I'm ready to get back in the flow, man, for sure.
See you in a couple hours.
I know, right? Later.
Peace.